Hi everyone. Stocks decided to pull back today on the 7th of August. However, the pullback once again found some intraday support off the lows as we rallied nicely off those lows. We couldn't make it all the way into the close, but the sell-off at the very end of the day wasn't that bad. And overall, stocks continue to consolidate the recent move higher on below average volume, so that's good. NASDAQ, the volume was higher than the day before, giving it a technical distribution day, but being down only 0.32% is not that bad. The New York Stock Exchange down 0.48%, the S&P 500 down 0.38%, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 0.31%, and the Russell 2000 leading the way down 0.74%. Didn't rally as much off the lows, but still overall the pullback is decently orderly. However, we're now below the 20-day moving averages, so we'll want to see the market be able to take the 20-day moving averages back out on these key indexes. The NASDAQ is fine, but overall all is well. It's still too early to try to say that we are definitely going to sell off here. As you can see on the ETFs, even the ETFs are moving on below average volume, so there's nothing to worry about out there. There's just nothing showing any sign that we want to move higher, except for RWM got huge volume today, but besides that there wasn't any ETFs moving on higher volume. We have no new longs tonight, obviously no new shorts. We do have quite a few sells, as is to be expected during pullbacks, especially after we've had such a long time getting longs. The only full sell is MM. MM is violating the 50-day moving average on heavier volume and is also closing below the low day of the signal date, which was 823. So MM is now a full sell. BX is a 25% sell because even though everything looks fine here, it's closing below the 20-day moving average on heavier volume. Uptrending or not, so soon after a long signal without any gains, no matter what, is a partial sell. So that's a partial sell. PSUN, so soon below the 20-day moving average on heavy volume, is a partial sell. We still have a 1.5% gain, I do believe, since our signal date back here in mid-July. But still, we shouldn't have seen Pacific Sunwear pull back like that. And then SBGI, another heavy volume sell-off below the 50-day moving average, starting to show some really weak relative strength. That is a 50% sell. Another heavier volume sell-off below the 50-day moving average will equate this to a full sell. And CSU is also a 50% sell as it sells off and closes near the low of day below the 50-day moving average on heavier volume following that big reversal on volume. This would be a 100% sell if it wasn't for the previous day's huge intraday reversal. So with that, the 200-day moving average is still in play. That will be where the final cut loss is, a close below that magenta line. That's it for CSU. It's out. But it's another 50% sell here, so we basically have no position left in this stock. But if you want to go ahead and hold it here, that's up to you. You definitely can. And then sadly, not shockingly, called this way back whenever we went long. Why was this going to be less than 1% of a new long signal? Because with earnings coming up, there has been a tendency of stocks that break out right before earnings to not follow through. Either they have to be completely quiet or break down first, then they gap up. These breakouts continue to fail ahead of earnings. SCTY is just another example, gapping down tonight. I was able to sell half the position intraday, one of the very few intraday sells moves I will ever do, but they do come ahead of earnings, and the way SCTY was trading coming up to earnings, got rid of half of it. The rest of our ad position, though, is completely off, so that is completely off, and I'll have to see how it trades to the end of the day, decide if it is a complete sell from our earlier buy signal back here at the end of June. So we'll see how SCTY acts intraday tomorrow. And then GMCR, not going to sell it because it's gapping down right now to the 74 area, which is right around the 50-day moving average. So I'm going to see how it plays off the 50-day moving average and how it closes tomorrow. If it does close below the 77.59 level, we're going to go ahead and sell all of it. But those are the moves to make. SCTY and GMCR are not shockers. And just to go to prove more points, Groupon, as you can see, basing out ahead of today's earnings, straddled that today. That play ended up working out. And then Tesla, of course, selling off intraday, is gapping up after hours. I did not play calls or straddles on this play, but once again, our option expert in the chat room did, and he did very, very well buying his calls before the end of the session today, so congratulations to him. But that's it. The only other move I'm making is I'm setting my buy stops now in VMW, as now it starts to move off the consolidation 200-day moving average area with a slight increase in volume. So now I'm setting my buy stop, and if you don't know where my buy stop is, I'm not telling, because I'm paranoid like that when it comes to giving out where my exact limits or positions are on the book. But as you can see by using this line, you can figure out quite easily where my buy stops are going to be set for VMW to possibly break out and run here. Okay, everyone, have a great Thursday.